Is it still important for Orlando Pirates to win the Nedbank Cup, particularly if they do not win either or both of the league or the CAF Champions League?
I think, Jay, with the Sundowns fixture being postponed, I get to say at least you get to know what it feels like to then have a game postponed for reasons that are not your own. In terms of what do we have to do with booking issues?
Actually, yeah? Those reasons might be Sundowns
because of stadium choice.
Because they are the ones who, as the home team, who provide availability to
they should have
to the league.
Checked the availability.
So they should have known that we have an under-17 ladies game that is happening. It's just terrible.
Okay, then it's fine. But either way, it's just fixture congestion, which is what not everyone, but Pirates and Sundowns have to deal with. More so Pirates now. But I think, Jay, if you look at the Carling knockout, I think it wasn't necessarily priority, but looking at when the final happened, how early it was in the season, I would have said go for it, because one mind you still have the bodies. At some point it'll take a toll, but for now we're still in the running to get more silverware. That didn't happen, got knocked out by Makesi. But where things stand now, right, Jay, I think it's almost like Klopp's last dance in terms of, hey, there's a quadruple happening and you go for it on all fronts. But you have to be realistic because League is very difficult. Champions League almost as difficult. Maybe is slightly easier because of the number of games. We have to still play Sundowns. There's games in hand. There's all these things, right? So I think, Jay, go for it. I think you've shown your hand as a reviewer in terms of where your go-to players in terms of Pirates depth. Your Ndlondlos, your Shandus, your Goodman Museles. So go for it. You've got the legs. Tito is back. I mean, I don't know what happens with Saleng, but I think we need that body as well in terms of going for the three-peat, the three-peat or more titles. So, Jay, I think, because at the end of the day, we want to say, because it looks like it's Ribero's last season as well, hence the Klopp comparisons. And so I think go for it. You've absolutely got nothing to lose with the cup. We've got with the CAF Champions League. Got nothing to lose with the league, with how things look. If there's anything that is equal, that's attainable, it's the Nedbank Cup. Yeah, you might have Chiefs or Sundowns in your way. Obviously, not overlooking Gallants as well. But I think that one is the easier fruit to claim. And obviously, that's what the cups have been in terms of the real price here. The grueling race is the league, not the cups, because MTN8 is 4 games or whatever, you get your cup. Same thing with the Nedbank Cup, with thereabout. If those are attainable and they appease the fans, by all means, go there. But I think it's important, Jay, to get the CAF. It's important to run Sundowns close if you don't go all the way to do it yourself, because we've seen it done it. And I know I'm not giving you a straight answer in terms of priorities, but I think go for it all, because we have to go for CAF. We haven't been here in a long time. We have to give it our best shot. We have to go for the league, because for so many seasons we've been bridesmaids and never really good enough, basically. And so I think it's important to defend, because if you lose it and then you fall in the league, it's almost like a weak season, because MTN8 only. So go for it. For as long as it's still there, go for it.
I think it's important if you don't win the league or the Champions League. But if you capture one of those, maybe not as much. And maybe even if you don't, because coming into the season, yes, Orlando Pirates have won the cup competitions, but we wanted to see them in the league. And the Orlando Pirates fans also want to measure themselves against the Sundowns in the league. As well as then, if you can do it in the CAF Champions League, then that's on par. Those two competitions. So we've seen Orlando Pirates win the Nedbank Cup, man. Like, we've seen them win the MTN8 as well, and that's a great achievement that they three-peated the MTN8. It'd be a great achievement as well for Orlando Pirates to three-peat the Nedbank Cup, because we have not seen that happen, at least in our lifetime. But do I think it's important? I think it'd be nice to win the cup. I think it's always great to win, as I said previously here on To a Front, that we play to win, right? But it would not represent progress. And in the season 24-25, the progress that I personally have been looking for, where Orlando Pirates are concerned, is that do they finally take that step that we continuously speak about coming to every season, that Orlando Pirates are the team that are best primed, best positioned to take on Sundowns and end the monopoly that Sundowns have in the league. But then if another season is going to come and go and they have not done that, and they return into the CAF Champions League, and now, as we spoke in terms of, there is no easy draw in the Champions League, but if you are comparing apples with apples, they are on the easier half of the draw, that there is an opportunity to go win a CAF Champions League. Yes, the experience might be lacking, but the players are there, and the coach seems to be one, along with his squad, adept at winning cup competitions. And this is the next step, or the level up in terms of cup competitions. So if what happens at the end of the season is that Orlando Pirates have won the M108 and the Nedbank Cup, as I'm saying, long term, when you look back on the history books, it will say that they accumulated more numbers in the trophy case. But for where this team has been under Coach Jose Rivero and where they were supposed to be and when they were going this season, I don't think that they're winning the Nedbank Cup is as important.
Jay, would you say those same words if obviously with the same permutations of no Champions League, no league, but in the league they amass like 70 points and they lose out by maybe 6 points to Sundowns, because they would have racked a whole lot more points than they did previously in league campaigns, and still didn't get a cup at the end of the season. Do you think that's still not progress?
I want to borrow from you when you say that it does not matter what the other team gets. You need to find a way to get an extra point beyond them, because we've had this argument, right, in terms of what can you do against Manchester City, and you're like, well, you need to go do it. Like, if they've got 99, you go get 100 points if you want to win the league. But I do hold on to the fact that sometimes a juggernaut is a juggernaut. Like, if Sundowns end up with 75 plus points or 80 points on the board, I don't think there's much you can do about that, right? So I'd excuse them. I mean, if you end up with 70 points and you don't win the league, you're unlucky. You're unlucky more than you are a team that dropped the ball. You know, those are the unfortunate events of it. So yeah, I'd say there's nothing really they could have done in that situation. You might want to make the argument that well, go game for game, pound for pound. You know, if Sundowns are able to win those games against the other teams and they're able to win against you 4-1, then you need to be able to turn them around in your own stadium and then go match the results against the other teams. But again, as I'm saying, if Sundowns have a record number of points in a PSL season ever, you're asking for much. You really are asking for much to ask that team to go and usurp that total. But if that doesn't happen, then it has to be CAF Champions League. In light of, as I'm saying, in light of, have they made progress? Have Orlando Pirates made progress this season? And progress this season is not MTN8, is not Nedbank Cup, because been there, done that. You know, progress this season for Orlando Pirates would have been is the league or the CAF Champions League, and then if you want to sprinkle those other cup competitions in there as well, then yes. But in and of themselves, no, Orlando Pirates would not have progressed if what they come away with this season is an MTN8 and another Nedbank Cup trophy.